All right, we're live. Good morning, Vice Forecaster J. Rapp with you back in the Breaking Weather Center. We just have another tornado warning has just been issued. So let's go right. Storm Commander, this is part of the Mississippi is under a tornado warning for Behavior County in Mississippi at 6:27. A severe thunderstorm was capable of producing a tornado. Was located near Glens or west of Shelby, moving east at 40 miles an hour. So, tornado and quarter-size hail. Flying debris would be deadly if you caught out shelter. So, if you live in Shelby, or if you live in anywhere in this polygon, you need to seek shelter now. This is a tornado warning that runs in effect around 6:45. So we got another tornado warning. It will expire just in a second. So look at the hail threat. Gosh, it's pretty large hail. So this is a tornado warning that goes in effect at 6:45. This severe thunderstorm warning in effect at 7:15. This storm, Mississippi, really has a potentially of producing hail the size of quarters and winds up to 60 miles an hour. So we'll switch velocity turns, and you can see this storm really could produce a small, decent, very gusty winds. A brief tornado is never going to be out of the question today. Let me check in with the. I'm going to send some links out again. Hold on just a second. The tornado warning, that's going to lead to scale up. It runs through about 6:45. The tornado warning is still there for any minute. This is going to get taken off. It's expired now, so that's a good thing. But when we regate this is a severe thunderstorm warning right over here that goes in effect to 7:15. This storm could produce very large hail. And I mean, hail, we're talking hail up the size of, ping pong or, alright, hail very large, probably to 1.25. Alright, we can't go off air. The National Weather Service just issued another tornado warning. So, we want to stay with this warning. It's in effect for Behavior County. It just extended at 6:43 at Central Time. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 7 miles northwest of Shelby, moving northeast around 50 miles an hour. What to expect? Tornado and quarter-size hail. So what we'll do is zoom into the warning, and yeah, goodness gracious, gosh, are you kidding me? Very large hail with a very strong updraft with the storm. So we do have another tornado warning. It goes through 7:15 this morning, so I'm going to leave the chat alone. I'm going to put another text here in the box saying tornado warning runs in effect into 7:15, and we could get these storms could produce a brief tornado. That's what we're trying to tell you this morning. These storms could produce brief tornadoes and very strong winds, so we got to take this very seriously. And see, this tornado warning over here could actually, we could have some lightning with a lot of lightning with these storms. I know it's going to keep you awake, but yeah, that tornado warning goes through 7:15. Still shows me signs of some pretty weak rotation there. Does it look like a pretty decent tornado at the time, but we got to take each warning seriously. So you just join me. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for different areas. You're getting a little more clusters of storms out of here in Missouri. We got to really watch these because these can move into Southern Illinois, then we would have to switch coverage. We're getting one report of a 60 miles of gust from Train Spotter. Like I said, folks, I've been doing coverage since about 4:30 this morning. And we're starting to get another marker starting to spin in here, so we could be getting some more weak wind sheared by Charcoal Dale. If you're in Charcoal Dale, we have some weak sheared here. That's where we could get a brief tornado with that big box there. So we could be going with some more coverage here. So once we get these spin up tornadoes like this, today is where we could get very large hail, damage and straight line winds, and that tornado warning that could go in effect at 7:15. And it could get extended for a little longer because we have another sail. So pretty soon, Isaac will probably be with us later this morning. Jonathan will probably come in with us as this afternoon goes on. And I'm going to be here longer there's a threat today. I mean, folks, there could be a time today where we'll probably have to stay on for good when we get these big tornado events. But right now, these little radar indicating we try just to update you on. But once we get into big coverage, we'll probably stay with you. Just looking at Facebook, yeah, gosh, look at this light in Missouri. This is probably going to be so noisy. I mean, so that's why I'm watching the chat, make sure we don't have any things. So let me just, because lighting is going to be a big concern, so make sure everything's unplugged. Make sure you stay indoors and let these storms pass. Shut the mic off for just a sec. Alright, we're back on air with you. And make sure nothing got really issued. Storm over here is really tightened up with some pretty decent sheared. So this is probably a decent supercell, but it's losing some of its intensity. So that's some good news, but we still have that one tornado wind that goes through 715. There's that couplet there right there that runs through 715. That tornado wind does, so we could be getting this another spin-up tornado type thing. So we have to watch that, and I'm going to show everybody while we're on air these storms out here in Missouri. These are the ones that are going to be so noisy later. I know there's no warnings or watches for these areas, so I'm not going to completely roll out a couple storms that's going to pulse up over here, especially like this one here. It's showing some signs it's pulsing up. These are all probably just going to be severe thunderstorm warnings because the air is just going to be cut off. We'll just see a bunch of hail. And this has a little bit of a hook, like a backward C. Anytime you get like a backward C, that's an indication that some very strong rotation could be the rain. Even you get a tornado warning that even gets upgraded, that's going to be like a backward C, folks. You know what a backward C is? That's where the rain, that's when the wind actually blows and you're just not going to see these tornadoes. It's going to be dark. You're still not going to see it coming. So that's why we try to tell you, seek shelter, lowest floor, and a steady building. Get away from the windows when this situation happens. So tornado wind continues about 7:15. Quarter size hails, very expected with this. Looking at hail numbers, and look at here. Gosh. Up to about 1.75, so that'll be some very large hail with these storms. Pretty decent supercells are forming now. And I just think we got a new severe thunderstorm warning over here in parts of Memphis. That goes in effect for parts of north central Marshall County and central Mississippi, south central Fayette County in Tennessee. That's 7:15. At 6:48, a severe thunderstorm near Red, Black, or 11 miles southwest of Holy Springs, munition around 35 miles an hour. So quarter size hail is what's going to be expected with the storm. That's going to be the biggest concern with some quarter size hail with that. Definitely some quarters with that storm, and that's what we're going to have to watch. No debris signature with that, and I'm checking for the tornado. This one could produce some very strong winds, 40 to 50, 60. I mean, it does have some wind sheared with this storm, so we got to have to watch that as it moves in. So tornado warning continues. So far, we have no confirmed report of a tornado on the ground yet, so that's some good news on the situation. I am going to turn my face off just for a second, turn radar back on with you so we can watch that both at the same time. I can check the chat room. Since I'm by myself, I have to do all this. So, I mean, just this is why sometimes I like to have some help with me, but I will later this afternoon. New watch could get issued. I'm checking the Storm Protection Center right now. They might extend part of this. We'll just have to see later how storms do. This probably be a severe thunderstorm watch because the hail threat is something we gotta have to keep in mind. So we got that tornado warning. Maybe it expired already. I don't know. I'm looking at it right now. It's over here. And this storm's still producing some very large hail this morning. So we definitely want to seek shelter and take cover now. So you just joined me from several hours. We've been tracking severe thunderstorm warnings in the last couple hours. Storms are already erupting over here. This storm could be giving me signs of some potentially some very large hail this morning, up to 1 inch. Tornado warning, just very little has any hail, but this severe thunderstorm warning is a big doozy. It's nothing to fool around, folks. This is very bad. We've been dealing with hail for the last couple days, and this is what we'll probably end up with, is some very large hail with that storm. So just sure you're making stuff you're safe. So since we're not having any tornado touching the ground right now, and this still is a backward C, folks. I'll take the radar looking at. You can see, just watch the storm. It's like a backward C, so this gives me signs. This storm could rotate into a tornado warning, giving me some hail, very large hail, and some potentially has some strong to gusty winds with some shear trying to spin. It's not going to take that long to get a storm going. With this environment today, it's just not going to take much to get a tornado actually spinning today. It's because you got all that lift and all that cape. It's just not going to take that much. So, tornado warning for 7:15 this morning. I mean, take cover now if you're in the warning. Move to a basement. I've just shown everybody, so I'll turn the warnings back on, and you can see it doesn't really have any decent. West of that area shows a little more hail, but this severe thunderstorm warning goes through about 7:15 also. That has some hail with it and gusty winds with the storms. So we will continue to keep you updated. More storms are firing up right now. So right now, we got that tornado warning to 7:15. I'm going to zoom into these clusters down here, and you can see they could produce some very large hail over by Flicker area and Ashland area. These storms could produce very heavy rainfall, and flooding is going to be another concern too. So turn around and don't drown if you see a flooded roadway. So right now, we got the tornado warning about 7:15. So far, we not have no confirmed report of this tornado on the ground, so I'm going to send things back. If we do see a confirmed report of a tornado on the ground, we will pop on to let you know again. But right now, I'm going to sign off here.